Budget is just a few days away. My colleague spoke to the management of Azure Hospitality, Wow Momos and Chaayos to understand their expectations from the upcoming budget. Listen in.
For us, a one-window policy, which basically allows us to operate and open restaurants faster. A one-window policy, which basically makes things similar in each state, and the availability of licensing done in a manner which allows our openings of restaurants and existing restaurants, renewals, to be done in a manner which is seamless. That's point one. In regard to GST, we are one of the industries that do not get input on our expenses. We've been trying to discuss this with the government, with the finance ministry, with the various different state ministers in respect to the various states and the GST council. We're hopeful, we're engaging. We want a dual policy where we can have a 5% and a 12% with input, which basically allows us to offset the expenses that we are incurring today and also allows us to spend more money on capex, which allows us to open more restaurants, hence more employment and more revenue for the government.
We want one nation, one regulation. Across states, compliances regulations are very, very large. LG met them yesterday and he's trying to simplify this, so hope that's a welcome move. But yeah, regulations, compliances are very, very high in this industry and we really need to avoid duplication of work. Ask from the government definitely is for GST input. Like I said, we don't get GST input, so there's duplication of taxes. We pay GST on rentals, then whatever 5% GST we take from the customer, we pay that also to the government. We don't get the input credit, which is a must for this industry because there are so many restaurateurs who are not able to meet ends, are still running in losses, and getting GST input would make them profitable overnight. At the same time, the benefit would be passed on to the consumer because see, if you are able to control inflationary measures without taking up pricing and get some kind of a positive margin by GST input, the benefit goes on to the consumer.
Our biggest demand is please give food services industry industry status because it's worthy of it given the size. Set up a separate ministry for food services industry because our challenges are extremely unique as compared to any other industry, and therefore it's all the more essential for our challenges to be dealt with effectiveness. Allow input tax credit for food services industry because it is unnecessarily leading to double taxation for many years, and there is absolutely no pro-consumer argument for not having input tax credit. There are only pro-consumer arguments with input tax credit, not in the lack of it. And lastly, it is in the best interest of the food services industry for it to be enabled to run 24 hours a day and just open it up from licensing point of view.
All right, that's what coming in from food players, food industry players, that is. We'll